When men were freezing in foxholes at the edge of Europe or huddled in drafty barracks under Nazi air raids, survival wasn't a question of comfort. It was raw endurance. They didn't have space heaters, insulated cabins, or backup generators. What they had was grit, metal cans, and a burning will to stay alive. Yet somehow these soldiers managed to generate warmth from scraps, dirt, and pure ingenuity. And here's the shocker. Many of those World War II heating hacks still work better than the fancy gadgets we rely on today. So if your power ever cuts out, or you just want to heat smarter this winter, pay attention. These 7 field-tested methods didn't just save lives, they rewrote the rules of survival. The trench candle was a soldier's portable fireplace. When fuel ran out and frost bit through every layer, soldiers turned to tin cans and melted wax. Known as Tommy Cookers, these DIY heaters were born on the front lines of the Eastern Front, where temperatures plunged below 0. The setup was brutally simple. A ration tin, melted wax, and a few strips of rolled-up cardboard as wicks. Light it up, and you had a steady, smokeless flame that could warm a dugout, thaw rations, or dry socks soaked from snow. Want to try it today? Take an empty tuna can, melt down leftover candle wax, and insert tightly rolled, corrugated cardboard. One small can like this burns for hours and radiates enough heat to keep your hands from freezing. It's low cost, safe, and shockingly efficient. The same method that kept soldiers alive in the mud of 1944 can save your night during a power outage. Simple chemistry, maximum impact. Layering wasn't fashion. It was physics in action. World War II troops knew that survival meant managing heat, not just generating it. They discovered what modern outdoor gear brands now market as a 3-layer system. Soldiers wore a wool base layer to hold warmth, even when damp, a looser insulating middle layer, and a wind-resistant outer shell. The trick wasn't piling on clothes, it was controlling sweat and airflow. Too hot and you'd sweat, too cold and you'd freeze. Today, the same principle works better than cranking up your thermostat. Wear a thermal undershirt, a wool sweater, and a light jacket or vest on top. You trap heat while letting moisture escape. Indoors or out, it can reduce your heating needs dramatically. Remember what soldiers learned the hard way. Dry warmth is real warmth. Hot stones made for all-night natural heaters. In the dead of winter, when firewood was scarce and open flames meant enemy attention, soldiers used heated stones as stealth heaters. They'd heat river stones in a fire, wrap them in cloth, and tuck them under their blankets or near their boots. Those stones would radiate warmth for hours, long after the flames went cold. To recreate it safely at home, you'll want to heat smooth stones in your oven at around 180 degrees Fahrenheit or 80 degrees Celsius for about 30 minutes. Then just wrap them in a towel and place them near your feet in bed. The warmth, honestly, feels deep and organic, not dry or electric at all. Soldiers even buried these heated stones under their bedding to create radiant warmth from below. It's nature's battery, really, the kind of low-tech genius that still beats plug-in heat pads today. Field ovens, well, they turned dirt and metal into makeshift furnaces. When barracks were gone and supplies were thin, soldiers built what they called earth ovens out of whatever they could find: mud, clay, tin and stone. They'd dig a small pit, line it with rocks or scrap metal, add some wood and cap it with a sheet of iron or stone. The result was a hidden oven that could bake bread, dry socks or heat a shelter, all without giving away smoke or light to enemy patrols. You can adapt the same trick today, you know. Build a mini earth oven in your backyard for emergencies, or even make a tabletop version indoors. Just fill a thick metal pot with sand, place a few tea lights underneath, and cover it partially with a metal lid. The sand diffuses and retains heat, creating a steady, gentle warmth. It's primitive, yes, but it works like a charm. The same wartime innovation that cooked meals under fire can, you know, keep your home cozy when power fails. Body heat was treated like shared currency. When temperatures dropped and frostbite loomed, soldiers didn't waste body heat, they pooled it. Sleeping close together wasn't a choice, it was a survival strategy. They'd wrap greatcoats together, huddle in groups, or even keep small animals nearby to share warmth. It wasn't just about closeness, it was about creating a microclimate. You can use the same trick in emergencies. If you're alone, wrap extra blankets tightly around yourself and minimize air gaps. If you've got company, sleep close under shared covers. It's not romantic. It's efficient thermodynamics. Warmth spreads exponentially in close quarters. Soldiers called it heat pooling, and when it's 0 degrees outside, it's not just effective, it's life-saving. Candle lanterns were stealth heaters in disguise. During blackouts and night patrols, soldiers used candle lanterns not only for light, but for heat. The small metal or glass housing absorbed the flame's warmth and radiated it through the confined space. One little lantern could raise a tense temperature by several degrees, without revealing their position. At home, you can do this safely with a terracotta pot and a few candles. Invert the pot over 2 or 3 candles, leaving a small gap for airflow. The clay absorbs and releases heat evenly, acting as a mini radiator. It's a perfect emergency heater that costs almost nothing to run. The same principle that kept foxholes livable in 1943 can keep your living room warm during an outage, quietly, efficiently, and with old-school ingenuity. The fuel ration trick made heat last longer. When you only have a handful of wood or a pint of fuel, every ember matters. Soldiers discovered that by mixing charcoal with wood, or layering damp twigs beneath dry ones, they could create a slow, controlled burn that lasted through the night. The trick was simple: limit oxygen, extend burn time. You can use this concept today in your fireplace or wood stove. Start with dry kindling, then add thicker logs once the flame catches. Cover the embers partially with ash to choke oxygen flow slightly. The fire will smoulder instead of flare, lasting for hours and saving fuel. Soldiers perfected this because failure meant freezing. You can master it to cut your fuel bills and build heat that endures. These weren't luxury solutions, they were lifelines, Every hack here was born from desperation, crafted in the mud, the snow, and the ruins of war. And yet every single one still works today because the science behind them never changed. Whether you're off-grid, camping, or facing a blackout, these old soldier tricks still deliver that same quiet miracle of warmth when it matters most. So try them, learn them, keep them alive. Because sometimes the smartest way forward is to look back. If you found this breakdown valuable, make sure to subscribe to HistoryHQ, share this with other history buffs and survivalists, and keep learning from the past. Because the old ways of staying warm might just be the smartest tools we have left.